Hey everyone, Cindy here. Just wanted to share our tile installation failure with you. We have a bathtub shower stall here that was basically ripped down to the studs, installed a new bathtub, and we've got Hardiebacker Cement Board all the way around and a couple of coats of Red Gard, and then applied a tile, which is, just show you here, this nice Home Depot Enigma tile, 12 by 24 inches and quite thick. So it's a fairly heavy tile and is actually considered a large format tile because one dimension is greater than 20 inches. So everything was going well. Definitely recommend using levelers when doing any kind of a tile job. Makes it a lot easier to get that flush surface and no lippage. And so the tiles were cut, the tiles were installed, levelers were in place, and we waited 3 or 4 days before knocking off the leveler so we could continue on with the work. And literally within minutes, the tiles started to sag. Like I could see differences in the grout lines. And so that was concerning. And so my friend that was helping me out stuck some spacers back in to prevent that. And then a few hours later, my husband called me into the bathroom and said, Cindy, you want to come and have a look at this? And went to the bathroom and literally corners were sticking out from the wall. So basically the tiles were falling off. So we all worked pretty quickly to take off the tiles, although it didn't really matter because, to be honest with you, the mortar was all still pretty much wet. And so I just want to talk about the mortar that was used. So we used a Mapei premium stone and tile premix. And so it's actually not a thin set. I've done quite a bit of research now, of course, now that this has happened. It's called a mastic. So basically it's a glue with some silica, sand in it. So it can't be used to like build up areas. It has no structural component to it. It needs air to dry. And guess what happens when you put tile on Red Gard and your tile is porcelain and you've got very little air getting to that mortar? It's just never going to dry. So that's basically what happened. The mortar wasn't set at all. And so those tiles started sagging and falling off basically. So I guess we could have waited a lot longer for the mortar to set, but by this time it was too late because we had knocked off our leveler. So that's another lesson. Maybe check a tile first to make sure that the mortar is truly set before you start knocking off all your levelers, because you can't put them back in after the fact. So then anyways, we're left with this Red Gard full of dried mortar, and then we've got tiles that we've took a long time to scrape off all the mortar, and found out that actually if you soak the tiles in boiling water or very hot water, even mortar that's completely hard, this mortar anyways, this Mapei mastic, you can peel it off quite easily or scrape it off quite easily. So that's one way of cleaning and reusing some old tiles. Just a bit of I guess a piece of advice that can be used for those of you that want to save old tiles. I don't know if it works for thin set, probably not. But then the other thing I was thinking, well, if it comes off so easily with boiling water in a tub, why not take my clothes steamer, and it's over there. I'm not going to show it to you, but basically a typical Rowenta, clothes steamer. And so I started steaming off the mortar, and it was coming off a bit easier. Well, definitely a bit easier. So if you have chunky pieces, that's one way to do it. But then, of course, I was nicking my Red Gard on occasion, and in one part of the wall, just actually back behind me there, that direction, the Red Gard started peeling. Like I could get my fingers underneath it and literally just pull it off. So problem solved, I guess, because I was really worried about having this mortar residue on the wall and on the back of the tile. So all we need to do, and as you can see here, is we've been peeling off the Red Gard. So I need to talk a little bit about that, because the other thing I read was that you actually need to apply a primer coat first on your cement board before you apply your 2 coats of Red Gard. And I think it was something to do with a diluted, basically mixing Red Gard and water together and using that as a primer. So I'm going to actually call I think it's, I forget the name of the company, but I'm going to call the company that owns Red Gard tomorrow, and I'm going to find out for sure how can I prime this so that that red seal truly sticks on that cement board. It does seem to stick better to the mortar that's used in the cracks, so maybe we just apply a very thin layer of that all over the whole thing. But I really don't want to make my walls any thicker than they have to be, because of course some of my high-end plumbing implements have already been cut for the thickness of the tile because we thought we were done that. So yeah, I just wanted to share this video with you. Hopefully you find it helpful. I was doing a bunch of research at like 2 in the morning after this had happened a couple of days ago, and I was really stressed about what we were going to do. You know, we ripped our bathroom down to the studs, and then to have something like this happen is just like a real setback. So I haven't actually told my friend yet what we've done. You know, he's been doing most of the work, and so I'm planning to surprise him. I'll get him to come over, and he's going to see brand new cement board ready to put the tile on again, and I think we're all going to be super relieved at you know, at this situation, and the fact that we're not dealing with this mortar residue that could, if it gets wet, emulsify, and then basically we lose all integrity for our tile. So yeah, so that's all. Just wanted to share that with you. Happy tiling, happy renovating. I'm totally new to it. I'm not really doing all the work, my friend is, but I'm spending a lot of time doing research. So hopefully this helps. Take care and happy holidays, everyone.